Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to A Song of Tara. This is episode 46. After our somewhat shortened episode last week, where we had to break it off after 2 hours instead of one, due to me suddenly feeling very, unwell. We are, in fact, now back for a regular episode. Before we get started today, however, I should say that pending any major changes, and unless something dramatic happens, yada, 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 the plan is for us to do a longer session next week. We had been thinking of doing an episode 50 sort of special like that. And we'd also thought of doing something special when we hit 100 subscribers on CharismaToAC. And
I think the 100 subscriber thing is still on. We just need a date for it.
Yes. The thing is that instead we decided to instead of the episode 50 thing, at least, we decided to go with an episode 47, because that's,
It's Prime, so it's more special.
The point of it, of course, being that the weekend where we would be playing episode 50 was not one where we could all guarantee being able to do a longer session. So you guys are still going to get a treat. It's just going to be slightly off kilter, so to say. And without...
Did you say a treat? A treat? Ooh, a treat?
No.
Treat?
No.
Treat?
No. Maddie, bad dog. I'm going to bring out the newspaper.
Dear.
All right, and without further ado, Chris, can you take us through the details of last week's encounter with fire-breathing dragon and chittering rodents?
I'm glad you asked me, storyteller. Last time on A Song of Tara, our intrepid heroes went on a road trip across Ireland. Basically, we went on a wild goose chase over to, was it Cork?
Yes.
Following the lead of basically going to check on the fact that Liam's parents had apparently been violently slaughtered. We got there, went to the police station. Well, Liam went into the police station to see if anything had been reported, if anything was being done. Nothing had been reported, so he went straight there after getting them to send a car around, only to find, shock horror, his parents weren't actually dead. What a twist. So, yes, that led to much confusion, and he had to sort of try and cover base, and came up with the fact that he was going to be a father soon enough himself. Then there was and that was kind of soured all by the fact that it seemed that contact with Shauna, with Liam's sister, who had the one who apparently called, telling them about about his parents being dead, seemed to be missing, and that the house that they were in, the house that she lived in, had shown signs of a struggle. And so off we all went to the north, over the border into Northern Ireland, into Ulster, to check on her. Now a little bit more sceptical, but still obviously quite concerned. And we got there, and Liam, against all reason and good judgment, decided to brave the lair of a fire-breathing dragon in order to see if that dragon was in fact still alive and kicking. And it was, happily, as both the fire-breathing dragon and its captive human slave could account for, in the form of Shauna and, was it boyfriend or husband at this point?
Boyfriend.
Liam tried to speak to her. She more than spoke back to him. She shouted back to her. I don't think she understands the concept of speaking quietly when Liam's around. And basically, after assuring that she was alive, and that she hadn't actually called Liam for any reason whatsoever, and that she wanted him the fuck out of her life again, he went back downstairs. Meanwhile, Taryn, being the curious and not at all considerate person that she is, went into the Umbra to do some exploring and came across a rat who she was very nice to, who then invited all his friends over. And she led her little band of rats like the Pied Piper of Dublin, all the way to up to the same floor and the same apartment that Shauna conveniently lived in, and let them run riot through the kitchen, including
I
letting
did
them...
no such thing. I'm innocent.
Yeah, no, you're not.
So innocent.
It's clearly. And then that gave Sean even more reason to burst out onto the balcony, shout at Liam that somehow his fault again, that all the food she bought that day had been spoilt, and just to piss off. Taryn, realizing her complicity in this matter, tried to leg it essentially, and then once that was all cleared up, we all went on the rest of the way to the coordinates that Kat had given us before. So
Liam has failed to gain the title of Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
Indeed. This is one dragon I think he would like to actually leave alive. Actually, that's a good point. If she's a dragon, does that mean that Liam is technically dragonborn?
No, because he is the sibling of the dragon.
So he's a dragon trapped in
brother?
werewolf form then. Okay.
Yes.
We made our way to what we later learned was the headquarters, or the house of the Alpha of the Dolphin's Hope Sept in Ulster. And one that's there, we all had to come to terms with the fact that we were going to have to essentially go completely off the grid and quiet, which meant no contact with anyone outside of the Sept in any fashion. Including no electronic communication or use of electronic devices, which mortified Taryn to no end, particularly since she had to basically give up using her phone or any kind of electronic device, except perhaps for some very specific ones that may or may not make use of the internet. But well, we'll see if that's even that's allowed, because who knows what can happen with electronic devices these days. When we left off, we were all sitting in the mansion of Michael O'Hara, who at this point we don't actually know who he is. We just know that Kat trusts him, and we'd all been offered drinks. I think we were then talking about this, that, or the other, waiting for him to return.
Yes.
Yes. And he does return after having made a brief foray to do something else, presumably to be in contact with someone, probably Kat, to let her know that yes, you are in fact there, everything is fine, and you are now dead officially, something along those lines.
Yes.
He does come back and sits down, smiling in a friendly manner, and he says, "Well, there is that. Welcome to the afterlife, I suppose I should say."
Yes, well, if this is the afterlife, it's not so bad. You get...
I should hope not. I rather like
Does
my...
this help because it looks a lot like the real world?
Well, he says if it's hell, I can think of worse places, considering I live here.
I was about to say, if this...
Oh, nothing bad said about your home. It's just, it would be strange if heaven looked like the Tellurian.
Well, I don't believe in the existence of heaven, so there you go.
Finna mouths at whoever is sitting closest to her. He's killing the joke.
Yes, he is. He's a horrible, horrible person like that. He is, in fact, killing the joke.
Well,
I'm sure if Marty understood the joke, he'd be sad.
On a purely meta note, I'd rather he was killing the joke than the killing joke.
Okay, well, the in any case, he is perfectly happy to sit there and have basically just get to know you, have just talk for hours and hours on end, unless there's something any of you would really like to do.
Well, Liam does, as I recall at least, have one last phone call to make, actually.
Yeah.
And it's probably something he's done on the way there, because I assume that since Terrence had to turn over her devices, he probably would as well. So during the ride up there, he would have called his his parents to let them know that the fire-breathing dragon is indeed not dead.
Shauna is in fact quite alive and well and kicking and stuff. Yes.
And
so if she ever mentions anything about rotting food, you have no idea what that is about.
Actually, if she ever does mention anything about rotting food, Terrence to blame. Yeah, and other than that, there is one thing Liam wants to do at some point during the evening, but I'll see if there's anyone else who has something as well before that.
Well, if there is such a time as it's possible, I think Marty would pull him aside. He had a question for him.
Cool.
Right. Okay. So which one is it? Is it going to be the something Liam wants to do, or the pulling aside of the Liam?
We can pull Liam aside first.
Okay.
And also sounded like Chris might have something he wanted to tell.
No, I was only going to say that I don't have anything, so I'll be quiet now.
Fair enough. So I assume we find like an adjacent room.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. There are plenty of those. It's a very, very large place.
I think Marty fidgets a bit. He looks like he's clearly thinking about how to say this. I have a question.
Yes. You said as much back at the when we had to step in between north and south.
Yes. You are Alpha now.
Yes.
And I will know back with vampires. You say to Taliesin, go do it, be with Sandy. And then you say, no, it's bad idea. I will know. Did you say, go do it, so you could be Alpha?
No, I don't. I didn't say it so I could be Alpha. In fact, I'm at that point I didn't want to be Alpha, and I'm not really sure that I want to at this point either. What I said back in the cavern, I said because, and I also mentioned this previously. I said it because I suppose I was caught up in the moment, knowing, like I do, how it feels to be in love, and I think I failed to be rational back then, to consider the possible repercussions. Well, I suppose I did. They were stirring somewhere in the back of my mind, but I wanted Taliesin to be happy.
I think during Liam's talking, Marty is definitely scrutinizing him. Definitely trying to figure out if he's telling the truth.
And if you want to roll for it, that's perception plus empathy.
Yeah, why not?
And if for some odd reason, which I don't think is going to be the case, Liam wants to actually hide his true intentions, it would be manipulation plus subterfuge.
No, he has no reason to.
No.
I guess with that, Marty can see that Liam is telling the truth.
I imagine so, yes.
Then he seems to relax a bit more and says, "It's okay. We make mistake.
Yes, and
It's bad mistake, but
I can't disagree with that. And I'm actually glad, Marty, that you asked me this question.
why?
Because I feel it's important that we can ask each other these things. We can we're a pack, and there has to be some level of trust between us. And if you don't trust that if you think I had any kind of ulterior motive, then, and you didn't ask the question, it would just be brewing in the back of your mind that maybe your alpha wasn't trustworthy. We can't have that.
Yes, it's good to know.
Yes.
I will say I am not agree with Sept decision, but is as it is.
Yes, it is. And in an ideal world, we wouldn't be in this situation where Taliesin had to make the choices he did, and we made the choices we did. Unfortunately, this is hardly an ideal world for we live in.
I think you be good, Alpha. You think. You not just fight.
Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that.
Oh.
And I think Marty offers a hug, because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and Liam accepts and returns the hug.
Oh.
Well, very nice.
Gay.
Anna,
Jesus. And the moment is ruined.
You're welcome.
Here I am. Oh, Marty's so cute, and then someone in the background, gay.
Going to have to shun her for the rest of forever.
As if the fact that it is gay does in any way whatsoever detract from the cuteness.
Makes it even more cute.
Well, she does have carte blanche, you know.
True.
That is true.
You did give it to her, yes.
I did. I'm just pointing out the obvious here. As some of you should know by now, that is in fact a skill I possess.
Yeah.
Hey, nobody said anything about whether or not gay things are good or bad.
No.
It's true.
It's much true.
Well, that was what Marty wanted to do. Now he has gotten the reply he hoped for and is now happy.
Okay.
So I will mute so I don't have echo.
Right. Well, as I said, other than that, Michael is more than happy to spend as much time as you would like, just, hanging out. He's quite keen on getting to know new people in general, and specifically someone who is from down south, from Dublin, because, as he says, obviously he's neither blind nor deaf, and he knows that a lot of very, very serious things happened down there very, very recently. And instead of relying on secondhand information about what happened there, it's really nice to be able to actually hear it, so to say, from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, yes, the werewolf's mouth. So if any of you are in any kind of mood to share with him tales of daring do and great awesomeness from your adventures in Dublin or elsewhere, he is a very, very eager and happy listener. And
sure, if you will answer questions about whether he happens to have a rich younger brother, kinfolk.
No, he has to inform you that he doesn't. He does have 2 sisters, he says.
That won't work though.
Well, speak for yourself. Go
on, Chris.
In regards to epic tales of daring, do, and adventure, I'm sure that Taliesin can find the words.
And Marty has been wanting to practice his English, so he will participate as much as he feels, so long as he doesn't feel like he's detracting from it with his perhaps not stellar grasp of the language.
I think, for Taliesin's part, I think he'd encourage you anyway to get involved.
Yes.
Liam will join in as well.
Yes. There will be, in other words, you are going to have a pretty good time there. He is. Sorry, go on, please.
Is at some point, whenever the Tales of Daring Do hits a lull, is there a fireplace in this room?
Yes, certainly.
Well, then at some point, Liam walks to the fireplace and takes out his police badge, his Garda badge.
Yeah.
And he'll spend, I don't know, 5 minutes just staring at this this symbol of the life he's about to give up, and then after those 5 minutes are up, he'll just throw the badge into the fire.
He doesn't in any way interrupt or try to, he doesn't insert himself in that situation at all. He realizes obviously that that's a very serious and private moment, and this is one of those where you just, be quiet and let it happen sort of situations. So he when you've done that, however, he does go without a word. He does go to a he's got an armoire, as it's called. It's an old-fashioned kind of not a closet really, but a cupboard in the room, which he opens, and there's there are various glasses and decanters and so on in there, and he takes out one of the decanters and pours a couple of glasses of a very clear liquid, and holds one out towards Liam, and looks to everyone else to see if they want a drink as well, incidentally.
Yes.
He pours one for anybody who wants one.
All right.
Sharon has put up her paw.
That can wait until this
scene
is over.
Okay.
There's no reason to interrupt something somber.
And he pours a drink for everyone, and when everybody who wants one has one, he looks, he raises his glass, and then he says, I don't know all the details of why you are here, obviously. As I said, Kat and I go back a ways. She asked for a favor, and I'm more than happy to help out. Anything you wish to tell me while you are here, I will be happy to listen to. Anything you do not wish to share, that's fine. I do hope, very much so, in fact, that we shall be friends even after this period of laying low is over. It's never a bad thing to make new friends. For the record, one of the reasons why I know Kat in the first place is because I do happen to agree with her philosophy that we need to stop fighting to not lose and start fighting to win. And because of that, well, I run a small sept up here. We aren't many. I am not particularly tradition bound. I have to take some things into account, even when I don't particularly like to, because there are others than myself in the sept, and I'm not a dictator. But little by little, my sept as well is becoming, let's call it, open-minded and open to the ideas. For instance, that Cat is in favor of trying new things to solve old problems rather than trying old solutions that haven't worked for thousands of years. So he says, and takes a sip from the clear, almost water-like liquid. So here he says, is to new beginnings.
New beginnings.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To new beginnings.
And anybody who does drink from this, this is 60% or 120 proof pochine, which is very, very, very powerful stuff, to put it mildly. It's the sort of thing that'll put hair on anyone's chest.
It'll put hairs on their eyeballs.
Pretty much,
So
yes.
Everybody
basically the
rolls
same
down and
stuff
not
they
spit it
got.
out.
Sorry, what did you say, Aya?
So basically the same thing they got where we found Fina.
Yes.
That was also Pachin and also 60%.
Yes, it is a popular sort of drink.
So, if considering how hard as nails the guru would be if they were drinking clear alcohol, I was half expecting it to just be pure white spirit.
Nah, it's not. It's not.
Good
It
grief.
is at least something that tastes nice, and of course the point being that since guru don't get drunk unless we're talking absolutely stupefying amount. I mean, you'd almost have to bathe in the stuff, or we're talking some kind of noses infused crap. Then something this strong is pretty much the only thing that'll do it for a werewolf. So yeah, that's the that you drink, and it's very it warms. Obviously, it warms all the way down, and then after the drinks have been had, he asks everybody if you're all hungry, because clearly, obviously, you've just come quite a long way, and surely you must be in need of a good, solid meal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Chips
There will
and chocolate
be-
bars can only do so much.
Yes, yes, true. He proceeds to, in this particular case, call out for takeaway from a local place, and the amount of food that he gets into the house is almost obscene.
Good to know not all takeaway is tainted.
No.
That would
Why
truly
would it
be a
be?
world of darkness.
That, yes. Good point.
Well,
I think the others will see something for the first time.
Mhm.
Taryn's sitting there staring at whatever meaty stuff they've gotten in, and then just mutters something about new beginnings and tries to eat it.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
I shall stare at her because she's not eating leaves and berries, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Did she have a stroke? Maybe she's pregnant.
and meanwhile,
Eating weird
Taliesin
stuff.
is just looking at her with twinkling eyes and a big grin, just thinking, my little baby's all grown up.
Meanwhile, Taryn is probably eating it like a baby would with a, what the fuck is this? I don't know where this is going. What the fuck is this? Where does this... Ooh, is this a wing? It's a wing!
It goes the same place that all the other food goes and comes out the same way as well.
It's just, she's not saying it out loud, it's just the facial expressions, like, What is this? Is this a wing? And then you can just see her recognize a chicken wing with a, okay, that is what it is. And then tasting it with an apprehensive look in her face.
I imagine she does the things where she just touches it to the tongue and goes,
Does she at least seem to be liking it?
She is trying it, and you can't tell from her face. It's not as relaxed as when she's trying to eat, her regular food. This is more, I am trying something new, and I do not know if I like it. Kind of like first time you eat sushi. I am not sure I like this.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that there are certainly some things that she probably enjoys more than others.
Probably.
The idea of a deep-fried burger, for example, is probably going to be a little too much to begin with.
I imagine chicken would go down better than beef.
What?
I said I imagine chicken would go down easier for her than beef would.
Yes, chicken is not as heavy for someone who's not used to eating meat.
Exactly. Less fat.
I think she'll at some point find something, a regular kebab stick with chicken pieces on, and then goes, ooh, what's this?
And, well, he says that's chicken.
It seems like she likes this one, at least.
He does notice that everybody is looking at her when she's eating this, but he doesn't.
She is cautiously trying different stuff, and looking at it with a "what the fuck is this?" look in her eyes.
If
can I identify what this is?
Yes.
If he does this continually. Eventually, Taliesin will probably notice and then explain. She was vegetarian.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose new beginnings indeed.
So, how did we die anyway?
He says...
The car crash, or...?
In fact, yes. That's exactly what... No, what happened was, as I understand it, he says... in fact, why don't we take a look? He switches on the telly and flicks through it and... until he gets to a what's it called? A news channel. And he waits for a second, and then true enough, across the bottom of the screen it says that horrific car crash kills several, and then in County Antrim, and it only takes another maybe 10 minutes or so until the news program actually switches to a reporter on site, where you can see a car that is, I mean, it's not just totaled; it's absolutely, utterly, completely demolished.
It looks like it's been through the crusher.
Yes,
it's a little cute now.
Probably because from the description of what is it called? The reporter gives is that the car was harmonicaed by 2 trucks.
Wow!
And you can actually see one of the trucks in the background. It's got this really nice, well, not nice, but this really obvious large Pentex logo on the side of it.
Taryn looks from the screen to the others. Damn it, Pentex got us. And then looks back to the screen.
Why did it have to be the worm?
Because This way, people who want you guys to be dead and who already serves the worm will be more likely to believe that it is true. After all, it's their own guys who did it.
Yep. Well, it is true. If it's just been two random cars they've stolen and then crashed into the car, then it wouldn't ring as much as if it was an actual enemy of us, because then it could have been planned.
Indeed.
And they'd make sure we were actually dead, not just by an accident.
So, he says, now that you are officially dead, I think, normally you have a wake in a situation like that, but seeing as we can't really, let people know too much about your existence, strictly speaking, the idea, he says, that I've agreed with Kat on anyway, is that you guys are my guests here for the next few months. And as you can tell, my house is easily large enough for you guys to live here as well, so it's not a problem. And I have a fairly sizable estate connected to this. There's plenty of room to move around. It is protected. I do have guardian spirits looking over this place. There are other Guru who will be here from time to time. So you should be not only safe, but certainly off the grid as long as you're here.
And spirits will not gossip?
No, they will not.
So we will just be hanging out here for several months while my parents are, if not dead, then in the hands of black spiral dancers?
He looks at you for a long moment and says, what would you like to do instead?
Kill some black spiral dancers in London?
Okay. They expect you. You do realize that, right?
I know.
This is the entire plan. That we stay here for a few months and then...
Just until the heat is off you.
Yes.
And then you will get to do a lot of killing.
What about trading facilities?
Well, as I said, the estates are fairly extensive, so you will have, in case you want to run or, well, even free run in the woods, fine. That's a possibility. I do have some weights in the basement. It's rudimentary. He said, I'm not. I don't have like a great big up-to-date personal training room. I'm a little more old school than that myself. But I do have some weights and yeah.
Cool. That should work.
We should probably find some other names though.
Yeah, just cover names while you're here, I suppose, would be an idea.
Yeah.
We have some time to ponder that, though.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't have to be right now, obviously.
Where are we from?
Just mentioning it now.
Where? Sorry?
Where are we from? If not, if we are not us.
Oh, you mean if somebody asks?
Yes.
Oh, good question. It's again, such things or such details as who you are and where you are from. I'll leave that pretty much up to you guys to decide, as long as you remember to tell me so I don't screw up by giving someone the wrong information. But I'm okay with that. My own sept, by and large, are unaware that you will be visiting me here. Most of them don't come here anyway. A few of them do from time to time, and they will, of course, know that you are here. but they don't have to know who you really are unless you feel like sharing it with them. In fact, I would probably suggest that you don't.
So helping you guys is out of the question?
Yes. While you are here, then consider it a long, extended holiday, basically. However dull that might sound, it might also allow you to, well, maybe it'll allow you to, I hate to use the word de-stress, because with everything that's going on in your lives, I don't think that's much of an option, but, well, I know that it's probably not going to be all that much fun sitting on your hands with everything that's happening to you and your loved ones. But from what I understand, you've come up against very powerful foes who are basically chasing you around according to their wishes, their design. Again, I'm absolutely willing to help out in any way I can. So
we are grateful for that, even if we are a bit quiet. We just have a lot to think about.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And you know what, guys? I think I have inserted myself enough for now. You guys, as you said yourself, you have a lot to think about. Let me retire for the night, and there are rooms upstairs for each of you.
Cool. Sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Speaking of, you mentioned stress just before, and Finna is sitting here with the knowledge that her parents are possibly in the predicament they are in, and she cannot do shit about it. And most likely, what will happen then when Mr. Blackwell finds out that they are not useful as hostages is that they will not be let free and not be kept around. I am going to roll for slipping sideways. Because I assume there was a TV, so that's a shiny surface.
Yes, it is. And while you do that roll, I will be right back. Hang on.
No slipping.
Yay. Not today.
Decidedly.
Stay with
no
us,
slipping.
Finna.
Pogo!
Sounds like someone's pouring a very hearty drink in the background.
Tea.
Of course.
Someone is peeing in their cup.
Shut up.
Stop peeing, Fenna!
I think I'd be worried if my pee was this brown.
I think you should be. It seems unhealthy.
And I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome
Right
back.
back.
Don't ask about the conversation that's been going on.
Oh no.
You don't want to know.
Okay, it's been icky, I can tell.
Bad enough for the listeners to hear it. Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm going to be. I'll hear it when I hear the recording. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that bad, but don't ask.
So, you guys are now left to your own devices, basically. And the idea then is that unless you have something specific you want to do, we are going to go for a very significant time skip.
Actually, I am just going to real quick roll a curiosity roll because I realized that Finna can try and sense the direction in which her parents are.
Yes.
But she doesn't really want to, but then again, curious, and I'm going to set the difficulty to 10.
Yeah, it's her parents.
Yes. So curiosity is just witch, right?
Yep.
Well, that's a success. She doesn't do it.
She doesn't.
So she really wants to, she doesn't give in.
She really wants to, but she also really doesn't want to.
I would like to just note that during this time skip, Liam will be spending quite a lot of time with Fenna, and when he's not actually with her, he'll be observing her.
Yes.
He'll observe everyone, of course, as the Pack Alpha, but
she gets some special consideration.
Yes, she does.
Okay. I want to Rasmus.
This is me.
Yes. In supporting Marty with his wanting to learn English better.
Yes.
Fenna will ask him to teach her Greek.
Oh, cool.
Marty doesn't know Greek.
He doesn't? Okay. Then never mind. He is from Greece, right?
He's from Greek, yeah, but he was picked up. Was picked up by an Egyptian.
Does he know Arabic then?
Assuming he knows, a standard language.
He does.
Then he would know Arabic, yeah.
Then she will ask him to teach her Arabic.
Sure. Also, that's why he knows English and not Greek, is because, well, he's a silent strider, so he could feasibly be expected to go all over the world.
Yeah, it's just Fenna likes languages, and maybe he will feel less bad about struggling if someone else is learning a language he knows.
Well, in that case, he will strike her a deal because he wants to be better at English, and she clearly has enough grasp of the language to make puns, and she's awesome. So if she teaches him how to express himself better in English, he will definitely teach her Arabic.
Yes.
I can see wagging tails in the future of these two.
So I actually had a language extra because I have what's it called I have natural linguist and had spent experience to buy a language which is 2 and only actually picked one.
Okay, well that makes sense. So in the following 4 months, you pick up through a fairly intensive crash course. You pick up a working knowledge, shall we call it, of Arabic.
Yes.
Still, obviously not picture perfect. You don't do that in 4 months' time.
No.
But enough to get by in a brief conversation, and you can always expand on that. And Madi also gets plenty of opportunities to improve on his English vocabulary. So
and puns. I'm sure he'll be learning puns.
And indeed, so I will leave it up to you, Rasmus, how much it affects and impacts his spoken English.
Yeah, I'll try to actually make a difference in the way he speaks. Also, in expressing himself, he'll probably also want to talk a lot with the quite charismatic host we have.
Yes,
and try to pick up some of his charisma skill, if you could put it like that.
Yes. So you guys have 4 months where you.
Wasn't it just 3?
Actually, it's 4, and you get to practice your various different things that you want to learn. You get to continue training on physical things that you've started and so on. So by all means, notch up 4 months of training on any such that might actually, I suppose, give you some dots in some areas.
Yes. Question.
Yes.
So I'm already training 3 things up to 4 dots. Is it possible to train any more during this time, or is that sort of the cap?
No, it's not the cap, but you have to get to 4 before you can start training to get to 5.
Oh yeah, no, I mean if I could do any more different ones.
Oh yeah, sure, certainly.
So how long does it take to get that 4th dot in, say, strength? Is that 90 days or is it
90?
Yes,
okay,
90
cool.
days.
Okay, cool. So that should be doable within the 4 months.
Yes, indeed it is.
Excellent.
Ah, cool. So for Marty, I actually was considering buying up charisma, so that I suppose that makes sense with him becoming much better at expressing himself.
Indeed.
I have a technical question, because Taryn has been barred from using stuff that has internet.
Yes.
As we know, she's a glasswalker, so everything with a pulse that is electronic has internet.
Mm-hmm.
She won't be able to train neither her computer science or technology with that.
No. That is a limitation, I admit.
And that is the 3 things she was training.
I suppose you could train her stamina then.
Wait a second. You would be able to still train these things through what should we call it, theoretical studies, books, reading about things that you don't know yet.
I suppose so.
That is still the way that you do most university studies, for example.
Wouldn't it also be possible to set up closed networks?
Yes, it would be.
I wouldn't have any access to the
I
internet.
guess her science and technology wouldn't be that big of an issue, but computers could actually be an issue because you learn best by doing there.
Yes.
No matter how much you read, the practical shit is still best.
You do need to complement that with practical application, yes. But
I have wiped 90 days of her stamina training because she's still 271 days left on that, because she is at 4 dots going to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Would it be all right for me to put a dot in expression?
Yes.
Okay, I've got... Oh, goodness me. I've got multiple attributes and abilities I want to level up.
Yeah, I do too.
So, depending on what... I mean, is there a limit to what we can?
Well, run them by me.
I want to upgrade my dexterity and stamina.
From?
Both from 3 to 4.
Both from 3 to 4, yeah, sure. You can do that.
And I also like to... I'd also like to upgrade my wits from 3 to 4.
Yeah, I'd say going up in 3 different ones from 3 to 4 is the limit for for one period like this. So yeah.
Does that include both attributes and abilities?
No, that's not.
Because I went up in 2 abilities and an attribute.
Yeah, I'm going up. Sorry. So should I also run my?
Yeah.
Okay.
By all means.
Well, I have quite a list, but the ones I'm looking at for this time skip is strength from 3 to 4 and stamina from 3 to 4.
Yes.
And what are they called? Expression 1 dot.
Yep.
Intimidation 2 dots.
Yep.
Leadership 3 dots.
Yep.
Melee 3 dots.
Yep.
Investigation 3 dots.
Yep.
And occult 1 dot.
Yeah, that's fine. The point is, for one thing, yes, that's a lot of new stuff to learn, some people might say, but here's the thing. First and foremost, you're not going from no dots to 3 dots, you're going from 2 dots to 3 dots.
Yep.
So you already know a lot of this. It's a matter of improving on stuff you already know.
Yes.
Secondly, you are supposed to be supernatural creatures, and I'm willing to bend the laws of realism somewhat because of that. And second, you aren't really doing much else for the next 4 months. This is very much a focused training deal.
Yes.
Yeah. So on top of the attributes, I'm also going to get some abilities up, which I will run by you as well, if that's all right.
Sure.
Melee from 1 dot to 3 dots.
No.
No.
1 upgrade.
1 upgrade. Okay, in that case, that's the same for... Okay, in that case, both that's melee from 1 dot to 2 dot, medicine from 1 dot to 2 dots, and 1 dot in stealth, from 1 dot to 2 dots in stealth. And I'm going to put 1 dot in intimidation.
Yeah.
Can I put a dot in intimidation as well?
Sure.
And a second dot in firearms?
Yes.
I think, though I loathe it, it makes sense to up my manipulation from 1 to 2.
Yes.
And that's my upgrade.
I am very tempted to update and upgrade some more attributes as well. And we have the time, it would be stupid not to.
Yes, it would be, wouldn't
it? Can I upgrade my stamina from 3 to 4?
Yes.
It is interesting because you have to really think about the role you're going to be playing in the pack when you do upgrade things. So.
Yeah, but everyone can use more stamina.
Yes.
Always.
But the point being, yes, so dexterity and stamina for me, because there are people, Liam and others, who will invest in strength. They will be the ones that do a lot of the frontline fighting, whereas I want Taliesin to be able to avoid getting hit, and part of the reason why I upped his wits and his medicine is because I want him to have more concentrated healing abilities. I want him to be a bit more supportive.
Makes sense.
Though your healing ability goes on empathy and intelligence.
Is that right? I thought it was...
Yeah, Mother's Touch goes on intelligence and your empathy.
Oh, fair enough. Must have been looking at the wrong one then.
Can I buy a second dot in Enigmas?
Yes.
Let's see.
Plenty of time to train here, but I think, Aya, you've been pretty quiet. Is there anything else you'd like to spend XP on?
I would like to know who ends up with the clave, because if we end up with the clave, training with it would be a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a very good question.
I don't want any claim to it.
Okay. Well,
I like it just from the sideline. Not it!
well, Liam wouldn't mind, so...
No, he probably wouldn't.
To be fair, it's actually helpful to those who are interested to know that there are people who are not interested.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sorry, but...
What did you say, AJ?
I think she's saying that we are falling out, as she is to us.
Hello.
Oh, I think she just left the call.
Okay.
And she's back. Baby.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
What did you say, Hella? I heard Wally, not you.
Well, the last thing I said was that I think that you were trying to say that we are falling out just like you were falling out to us.
Before that.
I said that people saying that they aren't interested is actually helpful to those who do have an interest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that.
Anyway, we are coming up on the first hour.
Yes, let us take a break here and then settle the issue of the clave when we get back.
Yes.
All right.